Yo, what's up, you guys? I'm Pessimism. This is Wesker mode on Resident Evil 0. I got Carsey
What's up,
and
guys?
Barbie.
Hello.
Yeah, so in order to unlock Wesker mode, you have to beat the game on any difficulty, and then it's automatically unlocked.
So at the beginning here, we're going to be navigating through the train cart that's overrun with zombies. There's a 50% chance he'll get grabbed by this first zombie, so we're going to see how he's going to do.
Oh, that's good right there.
Woo!
Yeah.
He made it.
Good angle. So the first zombie there, he'll have different starting animations every time, and basically that will dictate whether he'll lunge left, lunge right, hit, miss. You can sometimes trick it out a little bit by getting a specific angle, and in doing so, it'll mess up his hit detection, and also he'll just grab you. Like he'll just clip right through the grab detection.
Yeah, so that room I just visited is unique to New Game Plus, a Wesker mode only. It's where you get the Magnum, as you saw. Basically, Wesker mode is New Game Plus, but with Wesker. And
Right.
Wesker has he has a couple things. He can dash, and he has like an optical blast with his eyes, which can, when fully charged, take out pretty much any enemy in the room.
So normally you would dodge any zombie directly in your way by baiting out a grab first, and after a certain number of frames, they would no longer be able to grab, and you can just phase right around them. But the conductor zombie, like it's all very tight. The spacing is the spacing is very tight, as you just saw. So.
Yeah, and we got good RNG with that room. You want that zombie that just got up to stand up. There's a chance that he will not.
Yeah. So with Wesker mode, this is New Game Plus, but the thing that makes Wesker mode is being able to dash around and whatnot. Wesker has a bunch of very, very interesting movement. So basically, Wesker is just carrying the entire run, and Rebecca just kind of hangs back. All the while, there's certain things that can break Wesker out of it. That can break Wesker out of a dash, such as enemies.
Also, this is the first Resident Evil game to where you're able to control the character simultaneously, which both analog sticks in this case.
All right, by using the second analog stick, taking control of Rebecca, you're able to move Wesker towards the stairs, and meanwhile, Rebecca is able to go to the window, and then you press a button to separate them. And Wesker is halfway down the stairs. He's on the loading trigger, so basically whenever you switch back to Wesker, Wesker will automatically go down the stairs. But yeah, Resident Evil is mostly a game about, as far as speedrunning Resident Evil, it's mostly about enemy mechanics, and less so about glitches, like
going out of bounds, stuff like that.
Yeah, out of bounds, stuff like that. But particularly with Wesker mode, it's all about optimizing your movement in relation to just level geometry, making sure you don't run into enemies, and there's certain tricks you have to do in order to be able to maintain full dash speed. Particularly, in this case, there's RNG enemy spawns. Some enemies get up faster, slower than others, so you have to be able to dash through them at full speed.
In most Resident Evil games, when you run around with a weapon other than the knife, your run speed is decreased. With Wesker, since he has a dash, it's not really affecting a lot because you're dashing most of the time, so you can get away with it a little bit.
So what he did there, just go ahead and clear the enemies. Another zombie
Yeah,
actually kind of got up later.
Kind of bad RNG with it. He can get up pretty much immediately once you start walking, but
yeah. But the whole idea throughout the train is to try and get all the enemies out of the way, and then after that you're able to dash. The conditions for an enemy to cancel Wesker's dash are basically if Wesker's collision box intersects with an enemy's collision box while it is still active, then Wesker will immediately go back into a neutral stance, and then he can get grabbed. So consequently, that means that you need to kill the enemy, and on top of that, the enemy needs to have fully crumpled onto the ground, and they need to not have any more movement, like whatsoever. By then, their collision boxes go away, and then you can just go right through them.
And
After
much
that.
like a lot of video game franchises, you'll see it's in Japanese for simply because of faster text. You can chain Wesker's dash by selecting the direction you want him to go in and then hitting B.
Yeah,
If
so
you
you
hit B before the direction, you're just going to cancel out his dash.
yeah, like you can see that every so often. Like Wesker just kind of stops, and then he just like turns, and he can turn in 90-degree or 180-degree increments. Also, Wesker can move straight forward, and if you use the analog stick while you are dashing, then Wesker can inch left and right just a little bit.
Here we have the first boss, Stinger. Just very simply, 3 magnum shots, he's down. You want to make sure you aim before you push down, because if you back up at all, you're going to miss. And then, yeah.
Yeah, that's an example of the hitbox canceling Wesker's movement.
Also, another thing that's new in regards to HD Remaster and then Zero HD Remaster is alternate controls. It made an appearance in Resident Evil 2 on the Nintendo 64, but it's come back since then with these two. And basically, anyone who knows tank controls know it's sometimes a little clunky. And with alternate controls, you're able to do instant 180s, and et cetera, so it's faster.
Yeah.
For example, you'll see how he instantly faces the direction right now instead of using tank.
Yeah, just like in a split second, he's able to turn, and I got caught up on a corner there just a little bit.
I
but
butchered that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically you have to like basically as long as you don't get hung up on a corner for more than a full movement cycle of Wesker's running animation, then the dash animation will continue, and Wesker will continue dashing. So, in doing so, you're able to just go. If you can go through entire rooms while dashing, then that's going to be that's going to be your optimal movement speed, and also going to be the fastest way through this particular gameplay mode.
Absolutely. There's not really much still going on right now. If there's any donations, now would be a good time.
Sounds like a pretty good plan. I have $100 from Phi Arrow that says, "Greetings from Australia. The Biohazard games have been a staple part of my life, and it's always great to see one make it into GDQ. Good luck with the run, Pessimism. Make Wesker go fast, and don't forget to give him an egg."
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. The most optimal way to play this game is to turn VSync off and to switch your frame rate to variable, so you can get a frame rate close to 120 FPS. It's the same for HD Remaster as well.
Yeah, with the original Resident Evil HD Remaster and Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster, by setting the game so that it can reach the engine's maximum possible FPS of 120, then the game will run the fastest and basically give you the desired outcome, which is to go fast.
Yeah, and there's basically anytime you split up, there's RNG involved because both characters have 2 different sayings. And for example, Wesker says "come" or he says "I don't need this," and it's faster, obviously, for him to say "come." So there's a little RNG variant right there throughout the run.
So got that. The shortest dialogue option before Wesker can regain movement is exactly that. So roughly how many instances of RNG are there in the train section?
Um,
Pretty much every room, right?
To an extent, yeah. For example, like I just did a safe shot right there. Normally I don't kill that zombie, but just to be safe, I want to get rid of him. So when you're coming back through here, the dash is very close. And then throughout the dialogues that they say, and some of the zombies that get up, etc. It's the dogs. Although there are a lot, they're very minimal. Another thing here is if you aim and shoot a zombie like in the head, there's a chance that that they will walk around with their head blown off. But if you aim down and shoot, they will fall down every single time. So that is the most optimal thing to do. Granted, you only do it really once or twice in the run. Both times would be on the train, but one of them doesn't happen all the time. It just depends.
Come.
Roger.
We're getting lucky with the comes.
Yeah. So, yeah, generally, because Wesker is going to be the one who is moving around the most, it means he's also going to get most of the key items, with a couple of notable exceptions, like the angel statue and the devil statue in the training facility area. Just like have Rebecca basically be like the storage camel throughout most of the game. But of course, there's certain areas like this where you actually have to wait a little bit for Rebecca to catch up before you can actually move forward.
Yeah.
Because it says I can't go alone or something.
And now we enter the head of the train, and we have to enter a few codes to stop it. Got a bad camera angle right there. So now basically it's just Wesker dashing all the way through to the back. If there's any donations, go ahead and read it.
We have a $10 donation from Jay Fro, first-time donator, long-time viewer. Just had to do my part by donating. We also have a $5 donation from the Arcade DVA saying, I'll donate more if the runner does his best impression of Wesker's complete global saturation.
Is that from RE5?
Yeah.
I don't know how to go. I don't know how I've never seen that before, actually.
It's totally fine.
We got good RNG right there. He fell.
Complete.
There's a zombie on the ground there, and if you just dash all straight, you'll get stopped on him. And then you have to wait for that zombie. Hopefully he drops down. So there's two different enemies you have to worry about right there to get the most optimal room.
Yeah. Sometimes certain zombies, they actually don't stop Wesker from dashing, like miraculously enough. But generally, if a zombie is like right in the middle of a hallway, it's like not going to end very well for the movement in that particular room.
And right here, there are 3 solutions. 36 is the one you don't want to get. It's the least optimal, but it's fine. It's 67, 81, and then 36. Here we're entering the training facility, where majority of the run will be. Also, another trick, this works with HD Remaster as well, is if you hold action towards the doors, it'll automatically open it so you get the earliest frame possible. The only time you would not want to do that is when you're going against the locked doors, as then the text will slow down.
Yeah.
And right there, you want to listen for a cue for when Rebecca, you can hear her walking, like on the ground. That's on the...
Like not on the stairs.
Yeah, not on the stairs, thank you, yeah. And then that's when you want to start using the analog to a different direction, and hopefully
by the time you get out of this room and
she'll
you
be
switch
right in
back
front
to
of
her.
the door, switch back.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, so here's some of the here's some fancy Resident Evil 0 routing in action. Basically, by moving characters off screen in advance and like having them wait, having them move, by being close to the door, the character can be on the other side of the room as long as the trace function, as long as they're following each other, then going through a door will teleport the other character into the room with you. So you can
Oh,
have
got that
Rebecca
tricky
just like
dodge.
sit on one side of the room and have Wesker just like do all the general movement through the rest of the room sometimes.
Yeah.
There's also certain rooms where even if you have Rebecca just sit there, then zombies will spawn behind, such as on this terrace over here, for instance. If Wesker moved too far ahead and Rebecca was still sitting by the ladder, then the zombie would cut Rebecca off and start biting before Wesker could get to the door. So then Rebecca would be stuck on the terrace, and he would wind up losing a lot of time.
Yeah. As long as you hit like they realign or whatever, then they'll both go through the door.
Right.
But just like he said, if one of them's getting bit or attacked or whatever, then they will not enter the room with you. That's a big time loss because then you have to go through the doors all again. The doors take around about 7 seconds to go through, and it's just a nasty time loss.
Yeah. So the menuing here, gonna have Wesker give the black statue to Rebecca, and then Crank send her up here. One other thing that you can actually do in that room with Wesker in the Crank room is you can actually move Wesker off screen while Rebecca is on the upper floor. So you could actually move Rebecca a little, or sorry, you could move Wesker a little bit, maybe like hold a certain direction as well.
This is another slow part before the next boss. If you have any more donations, that would be a good time. Did it too early.
Yeah. So there's another zombie.
Also, in order for the dash to work, Wesker has to be facing like a direction where he's not going to run into anything, otherwise it will not work. I messed that up as well. That's an example of how the zombies will stop Wesker's dash.
Right. But if he timed it correctly and he got like the exact perfect angle, then he would have just dashed all the way to the door.
Through him, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, not going to eliminate those zombies until he comes back later because it would be faster to eliminate multiple zombies. It'd be faster to eliminate multiple zombies in like one stance and one shoot,
Potential shot, yeah.
as opposed to like shooting once and then spinning around and shooting the other two.
The Magnum has the ability to pierce through enemies, and so on my way back, it's possible to basically kill all 3 of those zombies in one shot. It is very rare, but it's possible.
Yeah.
Here, you want to line Rebecca up with that ladder while controlling Mr. Wesker here to this little handle. That was a good movement, landed on perfectly.
Yeah.
And here's the next little boss. It's a centipede. Pretty original. And 4 shots and it's down. Let me get right back to the dashing fun.
Another thing is you cannot dash on stairs either.
Yes. And there's
So,
no stair skating in this game, which anyone who knows Resident Evil franchise, HD Remaster Remake, it's known for stair skating, which they fixed in this game.
Yeah. So this is one such room where you want to get rid of enemies. The plague crawlers are actually they're actually quite tedious to deal with, and on top of that, their hitboxes are massive. So you're not going to be able to dash through that room, especially when you have to come back
Multiple times.
two more times later. So better to eliminate those, grab the statue, and have Rebecca teleport Wesker out of the room.
Mm-hmm. Here, I just want to maneuver Wesker here to this double door.
Yeah. And because Wesker can't dash downstairs, it would be better to just simply have Rebecca move down the stairs on her own and go to pick up the lighter fluid and come right back. Wesker's extra movement options would simply not work either because there is also a startup time to Wesker's dash, which would be which would just be wasted, you know, at the bottom of the stairs going to the double doors and then going into this door and then back. So overall, it'd just be better to have Wesker stay at the top and have Rebecca go back into the main hall, have Wesker teleport her up through the double doors, and then you're controlling Wesker again.
That's exactly how splitting up the characters is so important in this game. It's to save massive time amount going through multiple rooms. Also, there's another bit of RNG when switching around the characters because there's a chance that the other character that you're saying to come back will flip around, and that's like about a second time loss every time that happens.
Yeah. Some of these doors also have some pretty interesting,
Yeah.
they have some pretty interesting hitboxes, I guess.
Let's see if we can get this triple. Nope.
That one was 2 shots.
Two shots the most common.
Yeah. Gonna go through the
Can't
double.
complain with the 2-shot.
Yeah, going through the double doors here. The zombie bodies will despawn when you come back through. So it's the most time efficient thing is to just go through this area and do this area first, consequently. This room is
It's one of the. This is actually one of the last rooms we're going to be using the eye attack, actually. And you want to make sure you actually jump on, or I don't know what happened right there, but Rebecca's getting beat up. We'll just do that.
yeah. It's a backup strat, RNG manipulation, right?
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, like normally what you're supposed to do is just optic blast, because equipping the Magnum there, it's because Wesker would need to do a lot more standard movement throughout the
This next
throughout,
section.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If you want.
Oh, no, what'd you say?
I was going to say I can let you continue.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So if you let Wesker, if you have Wesker unequip his gun, then he moves a lot faster with standard movement. So by unequipping Wesker's gun, it means that the only thing that he has available to dispose of the zombies is the optic blast. So that would be the last time to use the optic blast. But there's a staircase you have to climb, and on top of that, there's like a lot of standard movement. Otherwise, like places where Wesker can't dash.
Yeah.
The rule is anywhere Wesker can't dash, he has to be able to
Run
move
fast.
up. Yeah, he has to be able to run. Yeah, just run fast.
Yeah. And then that's the section we're gonna equip the Magnum later on again.
Exactly how it was supposed to look earlier.
Here you want to be careful with the dash because Rebecca's. That was good. She could get in your way, and then she'll prevent you from dashing. Also, there's little stairs right there that you can get caught on, so it's a little tricky.
Stay there.
Okay.
By keeping Rebecca at the bottom of the stairs, you're able to teleport Wesker as soon as he re-enters this room from solving the clock puzzle.
And as you guys see climbing up those stairs, and imagine if I was running this whole way, it'd be a big time loss to just do it like Wesker run all the way back or whatever. And here, hopefully, the birds won't give us a hard time. Okay, good.
Yeah, but there's an example of all of Wesker's movement options in action. Basically, it's just this room we went through. He dashed forward, then he did a 90-degree turn to the right by hitting B and right, where Wesker just stops. He turns, and then he was able to inch a little more towards the right on the second dash in order to correct his trajectory and hit the stairs toward the end.
$8.15 is solves the puzzle, which unlocks 2 doors. when you get to this area, the chances of getting hit by these bugs are very high. You can opt to stun them with the eye attack, but it's basically the same. And alternate controls in this game are not as smooth as they are in HD Remaster. In HD Remaster, you can move around instantly, whereas this one, sometimes there's a buffer, and you just saw it right there. Oh. Messed that dash up.
Yeah, just a few extra movement cycles.
Yeah. And here is exactly what we were talking about earlier, how fast that is.
Yeah. It just like it saves in upwards of 20 seconds just doing stuff like this.
This next room is dangerous. There are multiple zombies, and if you mess it up, both your characters are going to get bit, and it's just a dangerous room. Hopefully we can sneak out with this guy.
Ooh, that was close.
Perfect.
And then moved a little bit to the left before teleporting, just in case there wasn't
Exactly.
enough.
He does the 180 and grabs you.
Yeah, because you just like 180'd right there. So basically if he spent like another half a second in the room, he would have gotten grabbed, and he would have had to have moved Wesker out manually.
Yeah.
So that was a very, very dangerous room.
If there are any more donations, it would be a good time to read some.
Yeah, we've got a $100 donation from Mad Bootleg, who says there needs to be more boulder punching.
Overwatching? Apparently.
We have a $5 donation from H1Z1 Thomas, who says the two most amazing streamers and Resident Evil speedrunners of all time, Pessimism and Carsey. Keep up the great work and much love.
Yeah, much love, Thomas. Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Love you, H1Z1 Thomas.
You're going to be a little Leech man that we're going to just ignore with his little dramatic music going on.
Yeah. To be honest, the music for the Leech Man is much, much, much louder on the GameCube version. It's like unbearably loud.
So right here, this room has some more RNG to it. Basically, we're going to be inserting the mode disc that we just picked up into this area right here, and there's going to be two codes, 2D and 0A, and 0A is the optimal. And what do we get? We get 2D. It's fine. Yeah. It's not like it's a big time loss. Annoying nonetheless, but yeah. So if you're 0A, you'd already be you'd be up here like 4 seconds ago.
Yeah. Are you able to dash in that little section with all the monitors?
No, you can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Never tried.
Hopefully this guy doesn't stop us. Oh, he did stop us. Damn.
Yeah. He didn't die fast enough, unfortunately. So.
Yeah. If he doesn't stop you and you do another dash, Wesker like enters the door with a cool little dance move in there going on. Wanted to show it off, but it was not to be. Yeah, there's not much going on in this part either, so if you have any more donations.
Of course, yeah. We have a $75 donation from Boomer135, who says that cancer is the final boss that no one should have to face. So let's kill it and allow other players to experience the fullness of the game of life.
Well
Got
said.
$20 from Nayland L, who said he has to donate during his favorite game series and wanted to thank everyone for donating for such a great cause.
So in getting the final Doom book, we're clearing the first area of the game.
Yeah, and we're about to approach a statue. You're able to go behind it rather than in front of it to put the items that we need to.
Right. So Rebecca teleports out, and this actually puts us in a good position to have Rebecca move up the stairs so Wesker doesn't have to. So we don't have to like switch back to Wesker and switch back to Rebecca, whatever. But either way, we'll just have Rebecca put all the stuff in the statue because, you know, she's already there. It's already going to be faster.
Yeah.
And then we can switch back to Wesker and just move right back down the stairs.
Here we're in a little basement area. You can immediately dash right here, but that spider can stop you. There's a good chance that the spider will drop down and just prevent the dash from working. So it's more consistent in time's sake to just run, and then as soon as you come around the corner to dash.
So earlier there was a practice run of this game that Pessimism did that I watched on one of the practice computers, and interestingly enough, it's like this really old, you know, probably someone's work computer, you know, outfitted with like a graphics card, just like somehow ran the game faster than like this computer or like or like, you know, either of the computers that we have at home, and doing
it's able to beat the world record is 1 hour 12 minutes 53 seconds, and it ran a 1:09:11.
yeah. So
it's very doesn't.
Yeah, so technically that would have been, if it were recorded, that would have been world record. But
Despite it not being anywhere, yeah, it's weird because it was nowhere near the quality of the world record speedrun. It's very interesting. Carcinogen and I, we were discussing possibilities, and interesting to say the least.
yeah, so it could be some variance in hardware. Like it's like everything is timed by in-game timer, but somehow different settings were able to run the game slightly faster. Like everything was literally running faster, and all of his timings were just like completely thrown off.
Yeah.
So just like somehow this computer just ran the game faster.
Also with Wesker's dash, if when you go for a dash and the camera changes, it automatically messes it up. So that's to be weary. Stay away from camera. Oh, he's right there. We're gonna get rid of him. There's a chance that zombie is facing the wall, looking at his buddy, and he just happens to be in the way. It's just better just shoot him.
That was still, yeah, it was still really good though, because he like he crumpled, like the last frame of his movement animation was like as soon as you got there.
Exactly, yeah. And unlike most Resident Evil games, the enemies, if you leave a room and come back in the room, in most Resident Evil games, the enemies respawn in their original positions. That is not the case in this game. So if I let that zombie continue to exist, he would be right in my face as I was coming back out of there.
Nice. That was a nice escape from that monkey, by the way. That was it's pretty cool. Does that happen very often?
No, not super often. It's pretty rare him jumping out at you, actually. The Eliminators.
Yeah. The Eliminators are they're a colossal pain in the ass on an 80% run.
Yeah.
Like you have to, like normally you would wait until you come back from after the preceding area here and just smack them with acid rounds, like all three of them.
And then they're little juke masters, like.
Yeah, no, it's like
they're crazy.
They're all movement. They're really tanky, and they have next to no hit stun.
Yeah.
So all these spiders are just like on the wall, just pass right through.
Yeah. Here we're gonna be introduced to a very known enemy in this franchise, the Hunter. They're extremely dangerous in this game. Capcom didn't do such a good job in decoding them, as they can get you in a ridiculous stun log. It's not fair at all. They can literally just stun lock you to death. You can be a full health and they'll just stun lock you to death or do their one-hit KO move.
Right. Yeah, the hunters themselves, they're their hit stun animations and their death animations are actually quite weird because like you could see there he like shot it and it took a second before like before the hunter's death animation actually happened. So like sometimes it takes a while longer before they actually take hit stun, and sometimes they can even get a free hit off of it.
Yeah. They're pretty ridiculous.
Also, they do not die in one acid round in this
Yeah.
in this game, so it's
oddly enough.
yeah. Whereas historically, they've always died in one acid round or one magnum shot. I don't think I've seen one take two magnum shots
Okay,
yet,
that's good.
but oh, that was good.
If that spider charges in towards the direction you're coming from, it'll turn around and start attacking Rebecca, and so that room's dangerous. You got to be careful. And if it does hit, oh, so yeah, it really had no time to react. He would have hit me regardless. It's okay. And right here, you could dash right here, but it's actually faster to just run because when Wesker gets here, Rebecca will still be running, and you will have to wait for her to get out of the way. It's just faster to do it that
Right.
way.
This is another example of where you need to have Rebecca positioned to teleport Wesker as soon as he exits a room. So that means that you have to just like do a regular run because Rebecca's going to be walking or like running, you know, at her own speed anyway. You know, she can't dash. She doesn't have an optic blast or anything.
Nope.
She just has like one of the mind control devices on her chest like Jill has in Resident Evil 5.
Also, this game is notorious for having bad item boxes, so you need to line up very, correctly with those. Otherwise, the lighter will not work.
Right.
Despite you facing it and everything, it still won't work.
Right, because, I don't know, the developers of this game had the great idea to actually put text boxes around literally every key item that you're supposed to pick up. So, like, if you're off by even 1 pixel, like 1 pixel off to the left or 1 pixel off to the right, fortunately, the item triggers are very generous, but if you're off by even a little bit, like if your angle is off by even a little bit, then you'll trigger this random text box instead, and it's like, so I would imagine that some players probably like searched for hours for like one key item when it was like right there, but the game just wouldn't let it pick it up.
And this room becomes safe since that other zombie's gone. Otherwise, like I said, he would be right in our face, and either Rebecca or Wesker would have been grabbed for sure.
So right about here, gonna clear out the upper east side of the training facility.
Yeah.
Now that we have the water key. There's going to be a lot of switching, a lot of just like general movement stuff. The only enemies that are really a problem here are like...
There's 2 leechmans and a zombie in your way. Well,
Right.
one leechman you pretty much ignore, which is the one in here.
Right. Just have Rebecca go to the door and then have her teleport Wesker out.
Just like that. And then the second leechman doesn't become a problem until you're about to leave this area. And then here, this next room is RNG in the sense of the zombie's place, motion, direction he's coming. Sometimes you can come out and he's literally right next to you.
Yeah.
Let's see what we get.
On top of having...
That's not going to work.
yeah. On top of having different...
We're fine in that. The zombie isn't going to get us. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
right. Yeah. Yeah. So zombies generally have like different starting animations, different starting angles, and different movements. The starting angles, not as much in Resident Evil 0, but sometimes they have slightly different starting animations based on, what frame you enter the door. They'll react differently, they'll move a little bit differently. Sometimes it's influenced by what line you take through the room. But sometimes they can move fairly slow. Sometimes they're running through their faster movement cycles. And they can move pretty fast and cut you off of some places.
There you have Wesker, the master instrumentalist. Also, Capcom kind of got lazy in the sense of sometimes in cutscenes when Wesker and Rebecca will say Billy and it's obviously Wesker, and some other things in that sense that Capcom didn't touch up on. Okay, that was good.
So certain dialogue, she still says Billy sometimes.
Yeah.
What about like, what about when you leave Rebecca alone in a room while there's enemies? Does she say Billy
She still
help?
says Billy. Yep.
She still says Billy help over the
Yep.
walkie-talkie. Oh, okay. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. This is another slow part. We're just gonna go get an item. So if you have any more donations,
Yeah, we have a $10 donation from Anonymous who says that this runner looks like he could actually be a Resident Evil main character. Keep up the great work. You guys rock.
yo, thank you, man. Thanks for watching.
I've got a $25 donation from Evil Puppet who says that they're super hyped for the horror block and that they've been hooked on horror games since Eternal Darkness. Let's scare cancer to death. Got a $25 donation from Major Jiglin who says, "Hey, Pess, stayed up late to watch your run. Good luck, my lord."
Yo, bro, thank you so much, man. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. Much love to you.
Got a $15 donation from Guy Buttersnaps, who says that it's their first time donating, third time watching. Looking forward to the System Shock 2 run. Played it for the first time last year and thoroughly enjoyed the game.
And here, you don't have to push the box all the way. There's about, yeah, you just don't have to push the box all the way. I was going to build off something like that, then it escaped my mind.
Basically, it's just a way to do it in as few pushes as possible, because if you hit the wall, then it's not like a full push cycle. Is that what you're getting at?
Something like that, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And here we're about halfway through the game at this point.
Yeah.
The facility's coming to an end pretty quick.
Come.
Okay.
Yeah, not too much else here for another couple minutes, actually.
Have Rebecca dancing at the bottom. And that's what I was talking about, the positioning with Wesker. The reason the dash didn't work is because if he would have ran into the gate, the little
Right.
block off thing, that's why
Yeah,
it
he
didn't
couldn't.
work.
Yeah, he couldn't dash directly from the top of the stairs, so had to move to the right a little bit, and then dash corrected his trajectory at the last second.
And coming up, if we were playing on the GameCube version, then this would where we'd switch to disc 2 after we go through this double door right here. And we're gonna go fight a Pokemon coming up.
Oh yeah, the Pokemon.
Everyone's favorite Pokemon.
Yeah. Going through caves. It's you know, I sure do love encountering it a lot.
Yep.
You know. Certainly brightens up my day to see another one every 3 steps.
Straight up.
It brightens up my day even more to see this one. Especially when I have to see him again and again after getting sent back to the start screen.
Oh, I remember that. Those hunters, man. Yeah, so here we're gonna run into Zubat, Golbat, Crobat, call them whichever one you want, but it's a big bat.
No, it's Zubat.
It's Zubat.
Yeah.
So basically what you want is you want to stun lock, and as you can see, that's not what happened, unfortunately. It's that fight is a lot more difficult in new game because you have to do it with a grenade launcher and you do not have infinite bullets.
Yeah. I actually love how the Magnum just like melts through all the baby bats
Yeah.
because the piercing property. Like you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't, like if you got lucky, you could probably kill the bat with one rocket, but it's just, but those smaller bats could probably swoop in before you even get like a good angle to finish the bat in
Yep.
one shot. So that's why you want to use the Magnum in that room in particular.
Exactly. The rocket launcher is a terrible idea for that boss fight.
Any kind of projectile-based weapon is a terrible idea, except the speedrun kind of requires you to be able
Right.
to hit him with flame rounds. So that's like the only exception.
And you want in the new game speedrun, you want him to
This is your chance.
swoop down, and as he's about to hit you, that's when you want to fire, and hopefully it will stun lock him.
Right. If
There's
you time,
always a chance it will not too.
yeah, you can time it, and then he'll just like go through his hit stun animation like a few times and just like stun lock him. But you have to get kind of lucky, and your angle has to be precise.
Yeah, it's definitely a dangerous fight for new
Yeah,
game.
it's roughly got a 30% success rate actually, something like that.
Yeah, Resident Evil 0, in terms of speedrunning, doesn't get a lot of love from the Resident Evil community. That's just how it's always been. It's not what we want.
The zombie on the ground there will actually never wake up as long as you don't get grabbed by the zombie laying on the floor later.
And we got some more dramatic music coming up from this Leech man just chilling here. It's also it's possible to whenever you're picking up an item to hit action at an early frame to where you don't get text at all, and it's definitely not a common thing. Possible though.
So in general, Rebecca's going to have to fight more enemies in this area. Better to keep the Magnum available specifically for these zombies in this section over here. But actually, you won't be using
Oh,
the
he's
manual.
not running
Won't
or
be
walking. Right there, you want that zombie to continue moving because if he stops, then I mean you're coming back after getting the element, then he's still going to be in your way.
Right.
And right here, you want to make sure that you are on the item you want to send down because the menu in this game is not super smooth, and so even if you push down right, sometimes the right will not register, and then you're going to send down, say, in this case, it would have been the Magnum, and that is about a 45-second time loss.
Yeah, because you have to send it back up too, and the animation for this is slow.
Yes.
Really slow. But Rebecca needs to have the Magnum equipped so that she will kill the zombies while you're in
While you're
control of
controlling
Wesker.
Wesker, exactly.
So that's why he just like dodged the zombies the first time, was so that Rebecca would automatically kill the zombies later.
Yeah.
There's also a, like I mentioned earlier, in the save room, there was a zombie that sometimes likes to wake up. A lot of people who have beaten the game probably know which one I'm talking about. You know, you're just kind of minding your own business with Rebecca, and suddenly, you know, get a call.
Billy calls
Yeah,
for
get a
help.
call from the downstairs character, and they're like, "Ah, help!"
Mm-hmm.
And you know that zombie can actually be prevented from waking up by not killing the zombie on the floor upstairs next to the room where Rebecca is. There's some shotgun shells next to it on normal mode, but there's a zombie that's like by default just laying on the floor. And as long as you don't kill that one, then the zombie in the save room will not get up.
Right here is a little bit of RNG as well with this Leech man's placement. Hopefully he's not in our way so we could just dash throughout this room. Yeah, we're good.
That was really, really smooth. That was good. That was really good. Because the Leech man, like, I don't know, the Leech man's hit detection, like his hitbox, it's honestly some of the worst hit detection I've seen this side of Resident Evil 4. where like he'll just like he just like has all these whips and stuff, and he has no hit stun, and the only way to kill him even a little bit quickly is by using Molotov cocktails. And Molotov cocktails are the worst weapons in the game.
By far.
By far. Like, you have to mix up gas to get Molotov cocktails. Rebecca is the only one who can throw them, and the spacing has to be so precise, and it doesn't even inflict that much hit stun by the time Rebecca's able to throw another one. So he can get off 1 or 2 attacks by then. So really, if you're going to get through that area without taking any damage, the only way to do it is by maybe baiting out his grab and going the other way. Like, sometimes he can just walk forward, he can whip. It's a nightmare. It's a mess. Those enemies are a mess.
And yeah, we're coming up to a very dangerous room. The infamous hunter room.
You mean Sandshrew.
Sandshrew. Sandshrews are coming up. So there's a bit of RNG in this room as well with the, not the zombie completely laying down, but the one that's like on his butt right here. There's a chance that when you exit, he's going to get up, and there's a chance that, well, he gets up regardless, but there's a chance that, like, when you enter this next room, he gets up immediately, and there's a chance that he gets up as you're walking out.
Yeah. One important thing to note is he actually got the red chemical here now as opposed to later, because you need the red chemical again for a later section where you have to mix some battery acid together. And if you don't have the red chemical there, then you have to go out of your way like 1 or 2 rooms in order to get some. And there's like a lot of zombies that you'd have to dodge otherwise. So it's just better to get it now.
And now comes the scary room. There's 2 hunters we got to deal with here coming up.
Yeah, this requires some serious time right here, because these guys can stun lock the hell out of you. All right.
Shot didn't work.
Oh, no.
Should be fine.
Gotta heal.
Sandshrew, no!
Heal now.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Not super smooth, but at least we're not dead. So basically, what I was trying to do there is there's a line you can take, and you have to line Rebecca up just right against the other cage, and the hunter in the back, he'll jump in the air. As he jumps, you kneel down to pick up the item. The slash will miss, and since the 2 hunters are so close, they just completely ignore. You can just run right through them.
Yeah.
But it's don't get it every time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. By the way, sorry about that. I was like a little worried because you were in orange caution.
Yeah,
I was worried that the instant kill would come out.
Oh,
so
okay, no, you're fine. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I just, because we haven't, we've gone this far and we haven't, there's no save game. Like it would have. But still, yeah, it's a very, very scary room.
Oh,
despite how it looked, but
Those slashes can do you dirty. If you have any more donations, that'd be a good time. It's just little slow parts coming up here.
Yeah, we have a $10 donation from Juggernaut264 who says, long-time watcher, first-time donator. Got to give it up to a killer Resident Evil speedrun. Shout-outs to all the runners and techs for keeping the show running. And as always, kill the animals.
Yo, cheers to you. Here the code is 4863. Really simple.
This is also an example of where this particular sound track is way, way, way too loud. Like, whoosh. I actually almost couldn't hear that donation.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, no, it's like it just drowns out everything, like everything.
And right here, you want to run far enough just so when Rebecca comes down the ladder, instead of facing the direction she would be as she comes down, she'll be facing downward, and so you can just run immediately rather than alt control, and it's slightly faster. Just like that. Or you want to make sure you move Wesker out of the way, because when you come back down, if he's still there, then you're going to get the same thing, and that would obviously be slower, since then you're going to be facing the trolley, or moving towards the trolley rather.
But yeah, I don't know. This is the part where Rebecca gets separated from Billy and has to go it alone for a while.
Yeah.
So
One of those
we're basically doing Wesker mode without Wesker mode for
Yeah.
a very short period of time.
And one of those eliminators comes out and socks up Wesker.
Yeah.
Then we get this lovely tune again going on.
Oh man, that's actually kind of a tough line to take, truthfully. Like just holding straight up like that. He usually starts with his whip, but you're actually able to make that work. Like do you do
And
that all
right
the time?
there, instead of running as I did the first time, you want to walk so you can align with the item you need to pick up off the ground. Because if you run, you're going to miss it. So basically, we just did the same exact thing we just did like 45 seconds ago.
Yeah. The tank controls in Resident Evil 0 are considerably clunkier than they are in previous Resident Evil games. Even though Resident Evil games are known for having clunky tank controls, the running animations in this game are a lot less responsive. So like a lot of times there's just like moving forward, you have to like wait an extra half second after you release up on the D-pad for the character to just stop moving, among other things, before you can even turn, just general stuff like that. Whereas everything in like the PlayStation versions is like a lot more responsive. You're like a ninja with tank controls in the earlier games, but in Zero, not so much.
Yeah, coming up is another, probably the last dangerous room in the run. There's 2 more hunters we got to go through. And just like the other ones, they can do dirty things to you.
Yeah, hunters in this game, aside from the hit stun thing earlier, like the hunters have like their trademark attacks, like front slash, jump slash, and then their instant kill. Generally, the instant kill only comes out when you are on yellow caution or below. Like when you're in fine, they never use it, but
Kirby want the second hunter to jump.
right.
Nope. Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah. So he actually jumped that time. Like
Scary.
as long as you're hugging that wall in front of the second hunter, then the spacing is just enough for him to jump.
It is a specific line too.
Right. So that way, when he jumps, you can avoid the attack. Just like slip right by.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, if he does like a forward like lunge slash, then Rebecca will get hit stunned, and he'll probably fall. He usually follows up with another slash.
Yeah. And for some reason I was supposed to drop the hook shot.
Yeah.
But it's no big deal really. But
Yeah. You probably drop it whenever you go to use the key before the
Yeah.
Tyrant. Yeah. But yeah, because Rebecca is like the more fragile of the two characters, she takes hit stun a lot more easily than Billy or Wesker as well.
that's
So-
another thing. Wesker / Billy run faster than Rebecca. Rebecca has less health, but Rebecca has the option to make herbs and stuff like that.
Right. Rebecca can make herbs and use chemicals. Billy cannot.
But he's the tank of the run.
Herbs.
Herbs, however you want to say.
I don't know. It's like anytime
There's
I've
another little boss who's down already, Mr. Tyrant.
yeah. I don't know. Anytime I've ever said herbs, British people would crack down on me for that. So I kind of broke the habit and said herbs instead.
We all know what we're talking about here.
Yeah. This Murica here.
So this is the final little area of the game.
Her outfit was different than.
If there are any donations, it's a little slow at this point. So if you have any more.
Yeah, we've got a $25 donation from Some Drummer 41. Shout out to the two runners cruising through Resident Evil 0. It's a pleasure to see this game again and hearing all the tricks and tips from pros. Thank you again to AGDQ for putting on this event. Cheers.
Yo, cheers to you.
Got $10 from Jacato Extra. Resident Evil is a great series, so I had to donate. Been a fan for a long time. Also, props for having Jill and Claire's Card Fighters Clash cards as prize incentives, since I just started the speedrun community for that game recently. You got good taste, AGDQ.
Cool.
So basically, any chance of death, the only thing that you really die at this point is getting eaten by a lurker, which is a giant toad frog thing that will swallow you whole. But you have to be very unlucky for that to happen. So it's really, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
like
that
Billy.
zombie gets really close just like that.
Yeah. Billy can actually escape the lurkers easy, but Rebecca, it's more difficult, isn't it? Like, I can't say I've ever gotten eaten by a lurker.
I've never gotten. Well, I think when I was younger playing on the GameCube version, I've gotten eaten, but ever since then, I haven't.
Okay.
It's been a very long time. So here we're gonna regroup with Wesker. There's a little cutscene showing a bunch of like bones and stuff like that. And if you're playing as Billy, then Billy is reminiscing of a bad experience he had. And yeah, with Wesker, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's out to destroy stars.
Well, the Billy cutscene still plays regardless.
Mm-hmm. And so this room, while you don't necessarily die in this room, if you mess this puzzle up, then you're going to lose at least a minute. It is
It's like
this room is very dangerous in that regard.
it's an upward at least like 3 minutes if you mess it up, actually.
Never been good at Resident Evil puzzles, but pretty much if you push a box too far, you have to leave the room and reset the room. And that's just...
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen in this.
But this room is by far the worst offender. The pattern for pushing boxes here was actually found by Trance, another runner of this game. But basically, it's after turning that gate once, you can actually solve the rest of the puzzle by pushing the box in the center against the gate, and then you push this other box here on the left all the way over. Well, almost all the way over.
Almost all the way over. This
Because-
one in Resident
yeah.
Evil 2 is another example where you don't have to push them all the way.
Right. If you fill up the water, then the box automatically lines up, and so this. So just like using what little space we can navigate with in order to push this all the
we
way
got
over. Okay, you got it. Yeah. Wow. First try. Is it flush against the wall?
Yeah, it's push against the wall.
Okay. Okay, and yeah. But if you mess it up, if you're off by even like 1 pixel, you know, like you over push it a little too far in one direction, then you can't take the move back.
Yep.
So
and you have to leave the room, climb up the ladder, go back through.
Yeah, it's
just
a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a very bad time loss.
But of course, he was actually the whole time he was actually moving Rebecca with the right analog stick as well, so he didn't have to.
So you didn't have to separate them.
Right. So it saves about saves about like half a second to do.
Something like that.
But it's still totally worth it to do.
So in this room coming up, there's 3 zombies. You gotta that are in your way. There's a little specific line to get through them. I got it earlier on the practice run, so I'm just gonna go for it again. See if we can get it. Oh,
Ooh,
damn it.
Almost. So when
Almost.
you do that, you just switch back to the analog stick to move after that. Okay. Yeah, these guys, just go ahead and kill them. This is probably the only exception to the rule where the enemy needs to cease movement animation in order to be able to dash through them, because their hitbox disappears immediately during the death animation. So you just do that with hunters, just kill them and dash.
Yeah. I grabbed the fast there because I got bit, and sometimes the last boss can be a little troll and continuously smacking, so there's a chance that I would die, but just pick up the fast to avoid that potential problem.
Right.
There's an example of how the camera changes. You guys saw how like I went for the dash and the camera changed. You want to make sure, beware that, hold down all the way.
Right.
Here's another boss who, it's Tyrant 2, who once again goes down in 2 bullets. So it's not a problem at all. Meantime, I'm going to throw it back over here.
I don't need this.
You can hit this switch at the end of done. As soon as you hit the second done, then you're able to hit the switch.
Yeah, that's roughly when the music fades out
Exactly.
and when the state of the event triggers in the room changes, and you can actually flick the switch and lower the ladder. So now, Wesker just sitting by the door, and Rebecca's about to go on a little adventure.
Just got to lower the dam so you can cross. Or lift up gates, rather, I should say. We'll be fine
actually
with
a
that
good
zombie.
Yeah, it's a good cycle, isn't it? Looks like it is. If the zombie shambles slowly enough, then you can actually hit the gondola after using the motherboard pretty much immediately. But sometimes he'll move a little fast and cut you off.
Or he'll be right and like really close to you, so you're forced to bait.
It's interesting. You were still turning, like Rebecca was like in the middle of her stop animation. You turned and you just like did like a sort of little Dark Souls clip in place.
Yeah, this game's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like another example of like how weird like the movement animations are in this game.
Yep.
Just like really clunky.
And
I mean, it's like with the HD remaster, the alternate controls actually fixed a lot of the movement issues that were present in Resident Evil 0 by like allowing you to pretty much turn on a dime, just like exactly how you want.
right there's a lurker that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
There's a chance that it'll spawn in another spot, but it's pretty rare.
But that lurker always spawns, right?
Yeah, that one always does, yeah.
Yeah.
So here, you want Rebecca to face the empty battery right here,
This is your chance.
Okay.
which we got. Okay, good. And most Resident Evil games, the records and PBs are attributed to the in-game time. I'm not sure about RE5 and RE6. Carsey was
I
the master of that one.
I actually don't remember either, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's been a while since I've actively participated in Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 speedruns.
If you have any donations, it'd be a good time.
Yeah, actually, it's a pretty good time for that. We just got a $500 donation from Dance220.
Dan's Gaming.
Says that always love when AGDQ comes around. Everyone continue the awesome work and spread the love and light. Thank you very much. And we also have a $1,200 donation from Bouncy TEM.
Ooh,
Wow.
dang.
Yeah. Who says that Undertale pulled
Good
them out of a dark spot in their life. It's a
Do it.
rather rare
Yeah.
specimen of a game that gets you to care and feel for
Oh,
its
I
cast so
messed it
deeply.
up.
Oh, no, not yet, not yet. Didn't mess it up yet.
Yeah, we're going to show you guys a little glitch here.
Yeah. So if you if Wesker's on top of the box and you go into the inventory and you switch to Rebecca in order to use the battery,
You'll
then
see this.
I think the box left without Wesker.
And this is possible on all ports of the game. Because obviously that'd be the optimal thing to do, but the game says no.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. It's like the last key item. So on
Yeah.
our way to the final boss right now.
Shit.
Huh?
Oh no then.
Oh.
Sugar.
We have little Shuggy over here.
Sugar St. Francis.
Wow.
Sugar.
Yeah, Sugar is
Sugar wants to be vocal at the end of the run.
Sugar's almost over.
yeah, okay.
So I'm gonna get hit by these. Now he's gonna hit me.
So you dodge through them and then you finish the room with a dash.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I got smacked. Right here, I want to control Rebecca. Otherwise, she'll follow you and make it grab these zombies. Oh, that fast totally threw me off. I'm not used to having the fast there. And so here's Marcus. It's the second last boss. Well, it transforms into the final boss, but
Right.
this is the second last boss encounter.
So right now, we're about to start fighting another Pokemon. We're going to fight Tangela.
Tangela.
Yes. Or Leech Queen. Is that like the technical name? I'm going to
Yeah, Leech Queen is.
Yeah, Leech Queen is it, yes.
Is the name, yeah.
Okay. Right.
Here, you want to?
Yeah, so the Leech Queen, you know, it's Leech Queen is a straight up bullet sponge.
Oh yeah.
So about the only real option to work with here is just straight up rocket launcher.
Yep. And the goal is we want to make Leech Queen dance.
Yeah. So the final boss, Leech Queen, what you have to do is you have to lure the boss away from Rebecca, because the only way that the boss can die is if Rebecca rotates all of these valves, and basically Billy has to aggro the Leech Queen, and first get the Leech Queen to come over this way. The second Rebecca is done turning the valve, the Leech Queen will aggro over towards Rebecca
her.
again. So you can see he just like completely ignores Wesker again. Is like going after Rebecca immediately. So then what we're gonna do is try to stall the Leech Queen here by
Oh,
He'll just like
Leech
yeah,
don't
he's
want to dance.
just like
Here
just
we
like
go.
dancing on the wall.
So yeah, basically what you want to do is just spin around.
Yeah, don't move too far.
And you don't want to get close to the tail because it'll
Yeah.
hit you.
Yeah,
And
there's like
also when the cutscene is about to start, you want to make sure you're close to the tail because Leech Queen can continue to move even though you cannot.
right,
So
right,
right there's the potential for Leech Queen to do its slam move into me.
right. He could have tail whipped or he could have slammed. That's true.
So you just want to do this.
Yeah, unfortunately, the shift over to Rebecca turning the valve does not stop the Leech Queen's AI threat.
See how you see it moves right there.
Yeah. So that's number 3, and as long as you're moving a circle like this around the Leech Queen,
Then you're
staying
fine.
around that rear appendage but not next to the tail, then that's enough buffer for you to keep making the Leech Queen dance around.
Yep.
I was actually really happy that Pessimism showed me this because I despise this boss. I despise this boss fighting it legit.
Oh yeah. See, there's that move we were talking about.
Yeah, basically when the boss is like
There's the slam it does.
yeah, that is just such an unfun attack. Because you have to spend so long getting up to.
Ow. All right, get ready for time here on.
Now?
No, not yet. Time.
Final time is, according to real time,
1:16:17.
yeah. But we're gonna check the in-game time here.
1:16:04.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a fun run. Thank you everyone for watching. Shout out to AGDQ for setting this up and for giving me the opportunity to be here. Much love to everyone watching, everyone here, Shuggy making noise, Carsey for helping with the commentary, Barbie, all my friends who donated, helped me get over here. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Much love. Thank you so much.
All right, that was an awesome run, you guys.